a horror story, they're only victims and monsters. And the trick is not to end up as either.
Which is a real shame. But, you know, Sweet Baby Inc. gonna ruin new games. That's how they do. Little bits and bobs I didn't like about God of War Ragnarok. Little bits and bobs I didn't like about Spider-Man 2. And a lot of the writing in this game.
I had found the murder site. Somehow the victim's heart was the key.
Well then, let's grab that heart then, Oh look, it's him again. They're gonna show his dick a lot, huh?
Something had shifted. I felt an overwhelming closeness to home. An FBI agent? Who are you?
What is this? Who are you?
She can hear me.
I'm Saga Anderson, FBI.
This is Alan Wake. I'm trapped here. The dark place. Under Cauldron Lake.
Cauldron Lake. Who are you?
Of the long-awaited sequels, this and Deadly Premonition 2, I like Deadly Premonition 2 better.
Help me. Please, help me.
Zeke and I did an LP of it back when it came out. You guys should go watch it.
I could sense it.
It's got its issues too, because it's a sweary game, so it's not perfect.
Vision help me somehow?
But I kind of love the brilliant absurdity of it all.
Outside Parliament Tower, where I'd lived with Alice. It was out there, waiting for me.
And that's gonna be the end of the episode. Yep. You can predict this like fucking clockwork. We're gonna hear like 3 seconds of this song. Alrighty. New York City. So he's dead. There's his dick. And, yeah, we're gonna keep rolling. Hey, that looks like something.
Who was writing? Who was writing this poem? Me?
Come on. The writer of the first word, not the writer of the last. With the terror of the light and the shadows cast, the third eye now open, to project the night. This is the moment to write. This is the ritual to lead you on. Your friends will meet him when you are gone.
Stepping to the murder site, I'd felt it hanging in the air. A meaning, the violent emotion of the act. Like a cloud of wrath, the dead eyes of the victim staring at something you couldn't see, and yet making you aware of it. Something that soaked into this place on a molecular level, overlapping with your meaningless existence. Regression to something you had managed to forget. Marking you, taking you for a ride, making you crazier.
Alright, let's go for a ride then, eh?
The station had changed. I was closer now.
This kind of reminds me of Evil Within 2, but Evil Within 2 is far better than this. Yay, another word of gun. We're gonna go ahead and pop roulette again. 15% chance at the end is gonna be pretty good. The amnesia, rebirth, fear flashes are not needed, guys. New maps. Alright. No, not through there? Okay. It's not gonna let me down. Nope, not onto the tracks. Well, here's lockers. That's gonna at least be something. That's where it came from. Oh, do I just leave this way through the turnstile? I do. You may not be the only you out there. And back out onto the street.
Parliament Tower. Our home in New York. Was I really this close to being home? Going up to an apartment? Would I be home?
No.
Or was this just an echo of the real thing? Even then, the murder site had brought me one step closer to escape.
I've actually seen a few buildings like this IRL. They're pretty cool. Maybe it's the other way. Nope. Come on. Come on. There it is.
Maybe he was a victim. The cult using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed. And that put her in danger.
Was Alice here? In the story?
Let's hope not, yeah. The sad thing is this studio can do good things. Like Control, I would argue, is good. I would even argue the other two Alan Wake games are good. In their own way. I don't particularly love the style of this game and the other.
Alice's photo equipment.
But it's something.
Set to go off when the door opens.
Well, that's, that's always good.
Get out! Leave me alone!
Alice! Alice!
Hello?
Alice.
Pick photos for exhibition posters.
This is a photo of Scratch. How did Alice get this? Is he stalking her?
Of course he's stalking her. I'm pretty sure in American Nightmare, he said that he was gonna go after her. Well, that's not ominous. The spiral.
This is the door to my study, where I wrote my books. This symbol wasn't here before.
No, it wasn't.
Alice's video camera. No
Let
memory
me find a
card
memory
inside.
card. Video art doc on screens. Multi. Focal point of the dark place. I don't know if this looks like Alan's apartment in the first game. It doesn't really feel like it. Like his apartment felt a little more cramped. This is palatial. Because there were a lot of times that you ended up in the study over there. Nope, okay. Video art doc on screens, multi. Focal point of the dark place. See, the Alan Wake portions of this game seem to be fine. Like, the core mechanical problems still exist. Like, this camera being way too fucking close. Especially for combat, right? Because the way the combat works in this, I'm constantly losing sight of enemies. I'm constantly having them appear next to me. Like, all kinds of stupid bullshit. Gotta find this memory card. Oh no, that was just a shine. I thought it was another interactable. But at least we aren't getting like the crazy leaps in logic Oh, here we go. Part 1. I'll take
Alice's
that.
memory card.
When I was younger, photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was
She
that
said
Alan's work
bye.
made money.
But the script said 2.
He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it.
So, he
I
cared
was
about you.
taking photos, just not my photos.
Yeah, I get that.
And that gnawed at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan hit a block. I brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong.
I do remember that.
And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly. It's easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do too sometimes.
This scene's
About-
well acted.
6 years ago, I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking. Voices. Alan was back. Haunting me. Then it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster. He always did have anger in him. I set up cameras around the apartment with motion sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art. My nightmares caught on film. And this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her. Why?
Yeah, that doesn't seem specifically pertinent. So there's an art exhibition, and then the documentaries to explain it. All right. Oh, but it's going into the screen.
I sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation. To project myself through the dark place, to look for a way out. The story had brought me here, brought me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here writing it.
Oh my god. That was a quick one. Mostly cutscenes. The other side. Now we're going back to Saga. Get ready for more random bullshit. Hi. But at least we get to talk to Alan.
Okay, let's recap what you've told us so far, Alan. For the past 13 years, you've been trapped in a nightmare dimension called
The Dark
the
Place.
Dark Place. It's like New York, but it's not New York.
No, it's not anything like New York. It has much less crime.
It's not really under the lake. And after all this time, you've
Look
managed
at
to
the
get
dumb
out.
look on his face.
But so has your evil doppelganger. Mr. Scratch? Or is it the Dark Presence?
Both. It's interchangeable.
Oh my god, they
Each
literally
Scratch
turned it
really
into
looks like
the
me,
ending of
but
Twin
he can
Peaks.
change into this other form.
And Scratch, the Dark Presence,
La.
wants to rewrite the world in his own image.
La.
Which would be in your image,
No.
as he
Kind
looks
of.
just like you.
Oh,
Turn the world into a fucking nightmare.
During Deerfest, which is scheduled to take place in a couple of days.
Isn't it dedicated to a
You got out of the dark place by writing a
like
novel
pagan
from the
ritual
pages
or
we've been
something?
finding. But your double edited it into a horror story that's now changing reality, taking over people,
Yeah.
making them crazy, bringing the dark place to Bright Falls.
How are we gonna
Yes.
get Sean Ashmore out?
Fiction coming in contact with the dark place can change reality. The story is coming true, soaking into everything like darkness when night falls. But last time
This will be back in 2010.
yes, last time it didn't happen all at once. The story came true bit by bit as it unfolded. And that dark presence was still bound to the lake. I stopped it before it got the ending it wanted. Before it broke free. Based on that, there's still time.
Which brings us to your magical light switch.
The clicker. Magical doesn't quite cover it. Scratch wants it to bring about his ending. That can't happen. If I can get the clicker, I can send him back to the dark place, make all this shit go away.
So far, we've seen one dude get up and some ritual murders.
Look,
Like there hasn't been all this shit. Like the world's coming apart.
memory is full of holes, and I'm not sure how much I can trust. It's like a half-forgotten dream.
Oh dear, do you have answers? Oh, sage of the forest, why do they drink at the same time? They're definitely making it a thing.
Mr. Wake. Alan. We've seen our share of batshit crazy in the past 24 hours. What I want to know is, why am I? Why are we written into the story?
I think I saw you. A vision of you.
Because you're written into the Sons of Asgard for no reason.
Escape somehow. With that in the story, Scratch would have edited it to get to you. To hurt you. We are all in danger.
It's insane. And there's so much of it.
Have you ever heard of the Cult of the Tree?
Creepy bunch. In the habit of wearing deer masks, performing murder rituals, victims turning into monsters possessed by darkness. Possibly inspired by a horror story written by a certain author. Ring any bells?
Cult. Yes. Yes. They have the clicker.
Wake just gave us a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
But this clicker seems like a good place to start. If we find that, then we find the cult.
If the cult has the clicker, does that make them Scratch's followers?
How are you so certain they even have the clicker?
They could be working for Scratch. I don't remember. It's all confused.
Alan, if I'm gonna act on this information, you need to be honest with me.
Yeah, of course.
Is he confused?
Or is he hiding something?
Wake said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages safe, the dark shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the cult has the clicker. Wake has a double, Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here, in Washington.
How does that? How does you knows it?
Scratch looks just like Wake.
Duh.
Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did. Or vice versa.
The pages we've been finding are from a horror story called Return, written by Alan Wake.
Correct.
And the contents of this book are coming true.
Right.
Why couldn't it have been a romance?
No.